Welcome back in here to another Elmira Pioneers live stream. It's game 2 of the doubleheader between Jamestown and Elmira. Jamestown took game 1 in dominating fashion, 10-2 the final in that one. Pioneers looking to even up the score in the doubleheader and split with Jamestown by taking game 2 here. If the Pioneers don't take game 2, they will lose their first place standing in the PGCBL West Division standings. They will no longer be first. So an important game for the Pioneers are all that work and all those wins that they will have just put up against Geneva just to take over Batavia will have all been for nothing if they lose this game to Jamestown here, as they'll be back tied for second place with Jamestown. And so now, really, this is a pivotal matchup for the Pioneers. Pioneers look at a rebound after getting blown out in game 1. And so now I'm going to quickly run through the lineups as we're already halfway underway through the opening ceremonies here. I'm going to start with the Jamestown lineup. Leading off, it'll be number 38, Grady Me, the shortstop. Batting second, number 11, Tommy Googans, the second baseman. Batting third, number 13, Paul Catalano, the center fielder. Batting fourth, it'll be number 17, Henry Juan, the catcher, Batting fifth, it'll be number 44, Jake Coronado, the designated hitter. Batting sixth, it'll be number 20, Matt Thompson, the third baseman. Batting seventh, it'll be number 29, Jared Munoz, the extra hitter. Batting eighth, it'll be number 28, Luke Fuller, the right fielder. Batting ninth, it'll be number 27, Cooper Munro, the first baseman. Batting 10th, it'll be number 6, Alex Elstrom, the left fielder. And on the mound in game 2 of this series for Jamestown, it will be number 47, Peyton Alstrom, the starting pitcher. And so now, as it's about time for the national anthem here, I'm going to take a quick break and step away. I'll be back with Elmira's starting lineup after the national anthem. A very nice rendition of the national anthem, and now I'm going to run through the Elmira Pioneers starting lineup very quickly. Leading off, it'll be number 30, Cam Levesque, the center fielder. Batting second, it'll be number 77, Joe Muzio, the third baseman. Batting third, it'll be number 10, John Schroeder, the catcher. Batting fourth, it'll be number 8, Cooper Smith, the extra hitter. Batting fifth, it'll be number 14, Jake Keller, the first baseman. Batting sixth, it'll be number 33, Kevin Noss, the right fielder. Batting seventh, it'll be number 40, Nick Montagna, the second baseman. Batting eighth, it'll be number 2, Dom Presto, the shortstop. Batting ninth, it'll be number 42, Spencer Aubin, the left fielder. And batting 10th, it will be number 24, Eric Charnetsky, the designated hitter. And on the mound tonight for the Pioneers, at game 2 of this doubleheader, it'll be number 49, Gardner Meeks. Meeks making his second start of the season, also has 9 appearances. He started game 1 of a doubleheader, the very first doubleheader against Geneva. Meeks started game 1 of that. That was here in Elmira, and he pitched all 7 innings. The Pioneers are looking for Meeks to do the same thing here against Jamestown. They would love to have him go all 7 innings. As like I said before in game 1, the Pioneers have no arms. They have barely anybody left in their bullpen available. And of course, they still have a couple more games to go, but they will have 2 off days coming up. So they're just trying to make it to that without expending their arms. And so Meeks, as I said, making his second start. He has 9 appearances, a 1.17 ERA, and 23 innings pitched. He's only given up 12 hits, 6 runs, 3 of those earned, 11 walks, and has 24 strikeouts so far this season. He has a 3-1 record in terms of wins and losses as well, not to mention 2 saves. Last time we saw Meeks pitch was on the 17th versus versus Geneva, not Jamestown, Geneva. He threw for 1 inning, had 1 save, and also got 1 strikeout in that outing. And so now he'll be getting the start here against the Tarpskunks in game 2 of this doubleheader. And so Meeks, he's trying to go all 7. That's the goal for Meeks. Go 7 innings as cleanly as possible. And if he can do that, then the Pioneers will be in good shape to split this doubleheader, which is what the Pioneers really need to do. They need to try and stay where they are, because if the Pioneers split, no harm, no foul. They kind of stay where they are, don't really move up or down the standings. And that's really what they want to be, considering they have to go back to Niagara tomorrow. And so now, as Meeks is about ready to get going here, and game 2 is about to start, it'll be number 38, Grady Mee, leading off the shortstop. He also led off and was the shortstop in game 1 of this doubleheader just about 45 minutes ago. And so now Meeks on the mound, about to throw the first pitch. This game is about to be underway. Meeks now looking on into Grady Mee. Will now set, deliver, swung on a driven over to second base in Montagna. Montagna will throw to Keller in time, and that'll be 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 out for Gardner Meeks, and a very good start to the ball game. And so that will be 1 out here in the top of the first, and the crowd applauds. And now that'll bring up number 11, Tommy Googans, the second baseman. He was also the second baseman in game 1 of this doubleheader today. And so now he'll be stepping on in to face Meeks here with 1 out in the top of the first. Meeks now will set, deliver. That is in there. Called, strike 1. 0-1 the count to Googans. 1 out here in the top of the first. Meeks 0-1. Will now set, deliver. That one is in there. Called. No, it's actually going to be inside. Called ball 1. I thought that was going to be called strike 2. Well, that's going to be a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the first. Ace is wild. Meeks now 1-1. Will set, deliver. Swung on a driven over to the shortstop, who is Presto. Presto will throw to first in time, and that will be 2 away. In 4 pitches, there is 2 outs on the board for Gardner Meeks here in the top of the first. And now that will bring up number 13, Paul Catalano, the center fielder. Catalano was in game 1. I don't think he was the center fielder, but he was in game 1. He did play in game 1 of this series. And so now 2 outs here in the top of the first, as he'll step in to face Meeks here. Meeks now will set, deliver. That one is in there. Called, strike 1. 0-1 the count to Catalano. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Meeks 0-1. Will now set, fire. That one is outside, ball 1. So the count will go 1-1 to Catalano. Meeks will set, deliver, swung on a driven over to Musio at third. It gets over his head. And so that will be a base hit for Catalano, as that one just bounced right over Musio's head and his glove. So a single for Catalano will put him on first with 2 outs here in the top of the first. And now that'll bring up number 17, Henry Juan, the catcher. Henry Juan, the new face to the Tarpskunks lineup. He did not play game 1 of this doubleheader. Still 2 outs here in the top of the first, so any out will end it for Gardner Meeks. Juan has a .320 batting average in 14 starts, as Meeks now will set, deliver, swung on a driven over to Musio at third. Musio will throw to first, and Keller in time, and that will be 3 away. 3 groundouts for Gardner Meeks, no runs for the Tarpskunks in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first right after this. Welcome back here now to the Pioneers live stream. It's the bottom of the first inning here. Peyton Ulstrom on the mound here for the Tarpskunks. He is statistically has the worst ERA on the Tarpskunks roster, so certainly a pitcher that the Pioneers bats will look to take advantage of. He has a 9 ERA in 1 appearance. He has only thrown 1 inning this entire season. He gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 run earned, and has no strikeouts and no walks so far this season. And so a really green pitcher here who hasn't pitched more than an inning all season will now be trying to pitch against this loaded Pioneers lineup. And so now, with Ulstrom on the mound, just about warmed up, it'll be number 30, Cam Levesque, the center fielder, leading off. He also led off in Game 1 of this series against Jamestown about 45 minutes ago, or more like an hour now. So Levesque will be coming up here to the plate to face Ulstrom. And the Pioneers are going to look to jump out to a lead in this one early to try and not fall into the same trap as Game 1. Ulstrom now, as Levesque will step in. Ulstrom now will set, deliver. That is inside, ball 1. So 1-0 the count now to Levesque. No outs here in the bottom of the first. Ulstrom now 1-0. Will now set, deal, swung on a driven right field side. That is foul and out of play. And so the count will quickly even up at 1-1. 1-1 the count to Levesque. No outs here in the bottom of the first. Ulstrom now 1-1. Will set, fire. That one is inside for ball 2. So 2-1 the count to Levesque as he takes the lead in the count. No outs here in the bottom of the first. Ulstrom now 2-1. Will now set, deal. That is swung on it, popped into right. That is going to be foul and out of play. First baseman going for it anyway, but that is over into the batting cage area of the Pioneers. And so the count will even up at 2-2 to Levesque. Let's go Pios chant going here already at done. No outs here in the bottom of the first. Ulstrom will now set, deliver, swing and a miss by Levesque, and he will go down swinging. So Ulstrom picks up his first K in the first batter that he faces, and that'll put 1 out here in the bottom of the first. And now that'll bring up number 77, Joe Muzio, the third baseman in Game 2. He was the first baseman in Game 1 of this doubleheader. So now he'll step up to the plate. Muzio now will step into the batter's box. Ulstrom now will set, deliver, swung on and chopped fair. That is down the third base line. Third baseman will field, throw to first just in time to beat Muzio. I don't think that was Muzio's intention, but it just came off his bat and went down the third base line fair. And so I was even surprised when that one was called a fair ball. I thought that was going to be called foul. But that'll put 2 outs on the board on a ground out by Muzio in one of the weirder ones. And so now that'll bring on number 10, John Schroeder, the catcher. Schroeder now stepping in. He was 3 for 3 in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Looking to continue his hot streak. Ulstrom will set, deal. That is outside, ball 1. So 1-0 the count to Schroeder. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Ulstrom now 1-0. Will set, deal, swing and a miss by Muzio, and the count will go 1-1. Ulstrom sort of has this slow wind-up motion, and then he just delivers it with a lot of velocity, so it's just sort of slow motion to immediate fastballs out of his hand. 1-1. Ulstrom will set, deal, swung on it, driven into center, skied, shallow center field. Center fielder will come under it and make the play. And so that will end the inning on a fly out by Schroeder. 1-2-3 for Meeks in the top of the first. 1-2-3 for Ulstrom in the bottom of the first. 6 up, 6 down in the first inning. We go to the top of the second right after this.
We do here at Transdev.
Have a nice day.
It's not a job that you gotta drag yourself out of bed to get here. It's you wake up every morning excited to be here. This is the most wonderful place to work.
welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the top of the second inning here. Gardner Meeks back on the mound for the Pioneers here in the top of the second. And leading off this inning for the Tarpskunks, it'll be number 44, Jake Kernodle, the designated hitter. In Game 2, he also played in Game 1. Kernodle will be stepping in here to face Meeks. Meeks, 3 ground outs in the top of the first. Meeks now will set, fire. That one is in there. Called strike 1. 0-1 the count to Kernodle. No outs here in the top of the second. Meeks now 0-1 will set, fire. Swung on it, pop back. Shorter catches it. And so that is not going to be an out. That is just going to be a foul ball. So the count will go 0-2. Schroeder barehanded that, by the way. So 0-2, very impressive from Schroeder. 0-2 the count to Kernodle. No outs here in the top of the second. Meeks 0-2. Will now set, deliver, swung on a driven into right center. And Noss is going to come under and make a play. Wow, that was a lot of running by Noss, but he got under it and caught it. So that'll be a fly out by Kernodle to put 1 out on the board here in the top of the second inning. And now that'll bring up number 20, Matt Thompson, the third baseman. He was the DH in Game 1 of this doubleheader. And we'll be stepping in here with 1 out in the top of the second. Meeks now will set, deliver. That one is in there. Called strike 1. A great fastball there by Meeks. 0-1 the count now to Thompson. 1 out here in the top of the second. Meeks now 0-1 will set, fire. That one is upstairs for ball 2 or for ball 1. Excuse me. I'm having a rough moment up here in the press box. Count will go aces wild. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the second. Meeks will set, deal, popped up, right field side. That is going to be foul. Schroeder going for it. He's going to run out of room as that one goes into the stands. And so the count will go 1-2 to Thompson. 1 out here in the top of the second. All right, Meeks, as everyone's going to be resetting here, will come back onto the mound. And it'll be Thompson who steps back in. 1-2 the count. One out here in the top of the second. Meeks now will set, fire. That one is just outside ball 2. So 2-2 the count to Thompson as it evens up. 1 out here in the top of the second. Meeks 2-2. Will now set, deliver, swung on a driven right field side. That is foul and out of play. So the count will stay 2-2 to Thompson. 1 out here in the top of the second. One and 2-2. Meeks will set deal. That is going to be hit by pitch as Thompson was hit. And so Thompson will go over to first now on that hit by pitch. And now that'll bring up number 29, Jared Munoz, the extra hitter in Game 2. He did not play Game 1. So this is another new face to the Jamestown lineup. He'll come in here with 1 out in the top of the second. And it'll be Thompson at first. Meeks now will set, fire. That one is down low for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Munoz. Munoz, a 297 batting average and 12 starts, 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 double, 5 RBI, 6 walks, and 3 strikeouts so far this season for Jamestown. Meeks will set, deal, swung on a driven right field side, foul. And so the count will even up at aces wild yet again. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the second. Thompson takes his lead off first, and Meeks will check over to him. Tag was quickly put down by Keller. That was a really hard throw over by Meeks, but not quite in time. Thompson will still be safe at first. Aces wild the count. Meeks will set, deliver, swung on, and pop back foul. That one came off of Schroeder. And so the count will go 1-2. 1-2 the count to Munoz. One out here in the top of the second. Thompson over there at first. Meeks looking for his first strikeout here on this 1-2 count. Meeks now 1-2. Will now set, deal. That one is upstairs and outside for ball 2. So 2-2 the count to Munoz here. One out in the top of the second. Thompson still over there at first for the Tarpskunks. Meeks will set, deliver, swung on it, driven into right center. Nas coming under it, and he will make the play in right. And that will be a fly out by Munoz to put 2 outs on the board for Gardner Meeks in the top of the second. So now 2 outs in the top of the second. And now that'll bring up number 28, Luke Fuller, the right fielder. Meeks now will set, deliver. That one is in there just outside, call ball 1. 1-0 the count to Fuller. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Meeks looking for 1 out in order to end the inning. Get the bats back up for the Pioneers. Meeks now 1-0 will set, deliver, swing and a miss by Fuller, and the count will go 1-1. Thompson threatening to steal second. He hasn't attempted yet, but he's been dancing around over there off of first. 1-1 the count to Fuller. Meeks now will set, deliver. That one is inside. Called ball 2, and there's going to be an attempt to throw him out, and he will be safe. Thompson's safe. Montagna couldn't quite put the tag down in time. He had to jump up to get the throw from Schroeder. So 2-1 the count to Fuller as he takes lead. 2 outs here in the top of the second. And Thompson at second now for the Tarpskunks. Meeks will look over to Thompson. Thompson quickly goes back after he got a little bit unaware, caught a little bit unawares there. 2-1 the count to Fuller. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Meeks now 2-1. Will set, deliver, swung on a driven right field side. That is a base hit. That will get down. That will score a run. Thompson is going to come around and score off an RBI single. And Jamestown jumps out to a 1-0 lead here in game 2. And so not the start the Pioneers were looking for. Still 2 outs here in the top of the second, as now that'll bring up number 27, Cooper Munro, the first baseman. Munro, also someone who did not play in game 1 of this doubleheader today. Just has a 200 batting average in 15 starts as Meeks will set, deal. That is strike 1. So 0-1 the count to Munro. 2 outs here in the top of the second, and it is Fuller over there at first for Jamestown. Meeks 0-1. Will now set, deliver, swung on it, pop back foul by Munro, and the count quickly goes 0-2 now. So 0-2 the count to Cooper Munro. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Meeks still looking for his first strikeout here to end the top of the second inning. Meeks now 0-2. Will now set, deliver, swing and a miss. He struck him out. That is the first strikeout of the night for Gardner Meeks, and that will end the top of the second inning. The Tarpskunks do not come up empty, though. They do get a run off an RBI single from Luke Fuller, and so they lead it 1-0. We go to the bottom of the second right after this. Welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the bottom of the second inning here. Peyton Elstrom still on the mound here for Jamestown. Leading off this inning for the Pioneers, it'll be number 8, Cooper Smith. The extra hitter in Game 2. He was the right fielder in Game 1. He had an RBI double as well in Game 1 to score 1 of 2 runs for the Pioneers. Elstrom now sets, delivers, swing and a miss by Cooper Smith, and the count goes 0-1. 0-1 the count to Smith. No outs here in the bottom of the second. Elstrom now 0-1 will set, deliver. That one is down low for ball 1. Count will now even up at 1-1 to Cooper Smith. No outs here in the bottom of the second. Elstrom now 1-1 will set, deliver. Swung on it, driven into right center. Center fielder going all the way back. He will make the play all the way back almost at the warning track. That was a crushed baseball by Cooper Smith. It just couldn't quite get down. And so that will put 1 out on the board here at the bottom of the second for the Pioneers. Pioneers looking to answer early as Jamestown already has a 1-0 lead. And now that'll bring up number 14, Jake Keller, the first baseman. Keller now, as Elstrom will set, deal, swing and a miss by Keller. And so the count will go 0-1. 0-1 the count to Keller. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Elstrom now 0-1. Will set, fire. That one is down low and outside for ball 1. And so the count will go aces wild here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Elstrom now 1-1. Will set, deliver, swing and a miss by Keller, and the count quickly goes 1-2. 1-2 the count to Jake Keller. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Elstrom now 1-2. Will now set, deal. That one is upstairs, ball 2. So the count will now even up again at 2-2. Still 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Elstrom 2-2 will now set, deal. That one is swung over to the second baseman. Second baseman will field it, throw to first in time, and that will be 2 away. So a ground out by Keller will put 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. And so far for Elstrom, 5 up, 5 down. And it'll be number 33, Kevin Noss, the right fielder, looking to change that. Noss did not play Game 1 of this doubleheader. He is the right fielder here in Game 2. Elstrom now will set, deliver. That one is upstairs for ball 1. So 1-0 the count to Noss. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Elstrom 1-0 will now set, fire, swung on it, driven. That'll be a base hit into right center. And that will be a single. Noss is going to be held up at first. And so that'll be a single for Kevin Noss with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. And now that'll bring him number 40, Nick Montagna, the second baseman. Montagna did not play in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Is now playing second in Game 2. As that one, he checked over to first. Noss is still safe. Noss safe at first. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Noss off of first. Noss, one of the fastest players. So if Montagna, as he takes strike 1, can get on or get a base hit here, Noss can potentially go to third. 0-1 the count to Montagna. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Elstrom will check back over to Montagna, or to Noss again. First baseman was walking off as if he had gotten the tag down in time. He did not. Umpire rules him safe. 0-1 still the count to Montagna. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Noss with a big lead off first again. Elstrom now. 0-1 sets, delivers. That one is down low and outside, and that gets away from the catcher momentarily, but not enough for Noss to go over there to second, so he's still at first. 1-1 the count now to Montagna. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Ahlstrom 1-1. Will now set, deliver, swung on a driven into right center. That might get down. Right fielder will come under it and make the play. It will not. So that'll be a fly out by Montagna to end the inning. No runs for the Pioneers in the bottom of the second. They go to the top of the third, still down 1-0. Welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the top of the third inning here. Gardner Meeks still on the mound for the Pioneers here to start the top of the third. And leading off this inning for the Tarpskunks, it'll be number 6, Alex Ahlstrom, the left fielder. And I'm assuming that's the brother of Peyton Ahlstrom, who's the starting pitcher for Game 2. So both Ahlstrom brothers out here tonight playing for Jamestown in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Alex Ahlstrom has a 0 batting average in 4 starts. He does not have a hit. He only has 1 run to his name. Meeks will set deal. That one is in there. Called strike 1. 0-1 the count to Ahlstrom. No outs here in the top of the third. Meeks now 0-1. Will now set, deliver. That one is down low and outside for ball 1. So count will now even up to Ahlstrom 1-1. 1-1 the count to Ahlstrom here. Meeks will set, deliver, swing and a miss by Ahlstrom, and the count will go 1-2. 1-2 the count to Ahlstrom. Meeks looking for a second strikeout. It'd be back-to-back for him if he can get it here. Meeks 1-2 will set, deliver, swung on a pop back foul right field side, and that one will go out of play. So the count will stay 1-2 to Ahlstrom here. Meeks still looking for back-to-back strikeouts to put 1 out on the board in the top of the third. Meeks 1-2 the count. Will now set, fire. That one is in there just outside. I thought that was going to be called strike 3. Instead, it is ball 2. So 2-2 the count now as it evens up to Ahlstrom. No outs here in the top of the third. Meeks can still pick up his second strikeout here. Meeks now 2-2. Will set, fire, swung on a driven into center, and Levesque will catch that, and that will be a fly out. So a fly out by Ahlstrom will put 1 out on the board here in the top of the third. And so now that we go to the top of the lineup here for Jamestown at number 38, Grady Mead, the shortstop. He grounded out in his first at-bat. Meeks now signaling something over to Muzio over there at third. Now will come set and deliver. That is a bunt fouled back, right? Or excuse me, left field side. And the count will go 0-1. Me squared to bunt on that first pitch. That was an interesting strategy. He did lead off with that in game 1. He bunted on the very first pitch to get on base. He didn't do that in his first at-bat. Now he's doing it again here in his second at-bat. Meeks 0-1. will now set, deliver. That is outside for ball one. So the count will go aces wild here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the third. Meeks now will set, deal. That is outside and down low for ball 2. So 2-1 the count to Grady Me. 1 out here in the top of the third. Meeks now 2-1. Will set, deliver. That is inside down low for ball 3. So 3-1 the count to Grady Me. Meeks does not want to walk me here. With only 1 out on the board in the top of the third. Meeks 3-1 needs to pitch to stave off the walk. Well, now set, deliver. That is going to be inside. Call ball 4. And so that will be a walk for Grady Me to put a runner on first for Jamestown with 1 out here in the top of the third. And now that'll bring up number 11, Tommy Googans, the second baseman, who grounded out in his first at-bat. Meeks looking to his infielders there. But now we'll step back on as Googans will step into the batter's box. Meeks now will set, deliver. Swung on a driven right field side. That is foul and out of play. And so the count will go 0-1. 0-1 the count to Googans. 1 out here in the top of the third. Grady Me still over there off of first for Jamestown. Meeks now 0-1. We'll check over to first, and it was another good throw, but Keller not able to quite put the tag down in time, so Grady Me is still safe at first. 0-1 still the count to Googans. Yeah, Meeks will check over again, and another tag placed, but again, not in time. So Grady Me still over there at first. Still 0-1 the count to Googans. Meeks now will set, deliver, and now Meeks going to try and steal second, and he will, as Montagna could not put a tag down. And the count will go aces wild. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to Googans. And Grady Me over there at second. After checking over to him twice, Grady Me still immediately tried to steal second, and did steal second in this case. So Meeks, aces wild. Will now set, deliver, swung on it, popped into shallow right. Montagna coming under, and he will make the play. And so that'll be a pop out to put 2 outs on the board in the top of the third. So 2 outs here now in the top of the third, and now that'll bring up number 13, Paul Catalano, the center fielder. He singled in his first at-bat. Grady Me still over there at second for the Tarpskunks. Meeks now looks over to Grady Me. He now will set, deliver. That one is in there. Called strike 1. A beautiful pitch there by Meeks, and the count will go 0-1 to Catalano. Meeks 0-1. We'll look over to Grady Me, and now we'll set, deliver. Swing and a miss by Catalano, and the count quickly goes 0-2 now. Meeks looking for his second strikeout here to end the top of the third inning. Meeks now 0-2. Will now step off and pump fake over to second. And so now he will take his time and reset there on the mound. Still 0-2 the count to Catalano. Meeks looks over to Grady Me again. And now we'll set, deliver, swung on a driven left field side, and that is foul and out of play. So the count will stay 0-2 to Catalano. Still 2 outs here in the top of the third. Meeks still 0-2. Will now set, deal, swung on a driven first base side, that is foul. And so everyone will have to reset. Count will stay 0-2. Catalano keeping himself alive and just fouling everything off. 2 outs here still in the top of the third. Meeks now, 0-2. Will now set, deliver. That one is in there. Called strike 3. He struck him out. That is the second strikeout for Gardner Meeks, and that will end the top of the third inning. No runs for the Tarpskunks in the top of the third. We go to the bottom of the third where the Pioneers will look to answer right after this. Welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the bottom of the third inning here. Alstrom still on the mound for the Tarpskunks, and leading off this inning for the Pioneers, it'll be number 2, Dom Presto, the shortstop. Presto did not play in game 1 of this doubleheader between the Pioneers and the Tarpskunks. Alstrom now will set, deliver. That is upstairs, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Presto. No outs here in the bottom of the third. Pioneers looking to tie this ball game up. Alstrom now, 1-0, will set, deliver. That one is down low in there, called strike 1. So 1-1 the count now as it evens up to Presto. No outs here still in the bottom of the third. Alstrom now will set, deliver. That one is down low and outside for ball 2. So 2-1 the count to Presto. No outs here in the bottom of the third. Alstrom now, 2-1. Will now set, deliver. That one is in there. Called strike 2. So 2-2 the count out of Presto. Presto's taken all 4 pitches so far. He hasn't swung at anything yet in this at-bat. Perhaps that changes here on this 2-2 count. Alstrom will set, fire, swung on a missed, or swung on a chopped left field side foul. So Presto, I was right. He did swing at that 2-2 pitch. But the count will stay the same as he fouls it off. Still no outs here in the bottom of the third. Alstrom now will set, deliver. That is upstairs and outside for ball 3. So full count here to Presto, 3-2. A leadoff walk would not be bad for the Pioneers. They would certainly take it. Alstrom now, 3-2. Will now set, deliver. That is upstairs and outside for ball 4. So that will be a leadoff walk for Dom Presto to put a runner on first for the Pioneers with no outs here in the bottom of the third. And now that'll bring up number 42, Spencer Aubin, the left fielder. Aubin did not play game 1 of this doubleheader, getting his first start today on game 2. Aubin now will step in. He did play last night at Niagara where he had an RBI single in that one. Alstrom now looks over to Presto at first. And now will set, deliver. That is outside and upstairs for ball 1. So 1-0 the count to Aubin. Alstrom 1-0. Now set, deliver, swung on it, popped, infield, that is fair. Third baseman will cut it off, throw to first in time. So that'll be a ground out for Robin. That will put one out on the board here in the bottom of the third. However, that did advance Presto. So Presto is over there at second now. Runner in scoring position. He is the tying run. And so now that'll bring him to our 24, Eric Charnetsky, the designated hitter in game 2. He did not play in game 1. Charnetsky has a 167 batting average, making his 11th start here in game 2. Last time we saw him play was on the 18th, so that was 2 days ago at Geneva, where he had 1 run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout as he fouls that one back and out of play on the first pitch from Wallstrom. So the count will go 0-1 to Charnetsky. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Presto still over there at second for the Pioneers. Charnetsky looking to try and drive in Presto here. Wallstrom will set, deal. That one is down low for ball 1. Catcher able to collect it. He lost it for a moment. Count will go aces wild here now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Wallstrom looks over to Presto. And now time will be granted. Wallstrom now 1-1. Looks over to Presto again. And now we'll set, deliver, swing and a miss by Charnetsky, and the count will go 1-2. 1-2 the count to Charnetsky. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Now there's going to be a mound meeting here between all the infielders and the pitcher. 1-2 the count to Charnetsky. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Presto off of second. It'll be the top of the order and Cam Levesque after Charnetsky. Wallstrom 1-2. We'll look over to Presto. And now there's going to be a throw-out attempt, and he will be safe at second. Presto able to get back in time. He saw the shortstop Grady Mee try to pick him off. So 1-2 the count still to Charnetsky. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Dom Presto still over there off of second. Wallstrom now 1-2. Will now set, deliver, swung on a pop back foul by Charnetsky, and so the count will stay at 1-2. 1-2 still the count to Charnetsky. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Presto off of second. Him and Grady Mee are playing a dancing game over there off of second base. Both of them shuffling back and forth. Wallstrom will set, deal. That one is in there. Cold strike 3. He struck him out. That is the second strikeout for Wallstrom, and now that'll put 2 outs here on the board in the bottom of the third. And now we go back to the top of the order for the Pioneers, and the leadoff man, number 30, Cam Levesque, the center fielder. He struck out in his first at-bat. Presto still over there at second. Cam Levesque will now try and get him around to home to tie this ball game up. It will be the heart of the order after Levesque, if he can get on. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Wallstrom will set, deal, swung on it, popped, fair, or no, that's going to be foul. And Levesque got folded on that one. So 0-1 goes the count to Levesque as he's going to shake it off. Levesque looks like he's all right. And the count will go 0-1 to him. Presto still over there off of second, exchanging words with Grady Mee, the shortstop. Wallstrom looks over to Presto and Grady Mee. And now 0-1 will set, deliver. That is inside for ball 1. So 1-1 the count to Levesque. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Wallstrom looks over to Presto and Grady Mee again. And now we'll set, deliver. That is down low and outside, and that gets away from the catcher momentarily. Able to recover. So the count will go 2-1 in Levesque's favor here. With 2 outs in the bottom of the third, it'll be Muzio up after him if Levesque can manage to get on. Levesque will step back in. 2-1 still the count to him. Presto off a second, still exchanging words with Grady Mee. Alstrom looks over to those two. And now we'll set, deliver, swung on a driven. That is going to be a base hit into the right. And now Presto's going to come around and score. And he will be safe on an RBI single. This game is tied. On an RBI single by Cam Levesque, it is now 1-1. And now that'll bring up number 77, Joe Muzio, the third baseman, who grounded out in his first at-bat. And now there's some discussion going on here between the manager, the umpires, and the infielders. And now Drum's coming over to talk. And there's a giant meeting over there between Drum, Jamestown's manager, the umpires, and the third baseman over at third base. Drum does not look like, neither of the managers are happy about this meeting. I don't know what it's about. Both of them are not happy. And so now the third baseman is actually ushering the manager off. And the crowd asking for the manager to be thrown out. And it'll be Thompson. Thompson's the one who's talking with him. And now assistant coach BJ coming over to talk with Drum. So it looks like everything's been sorted. Manager's going back to the dugout. So Muzio will be up now after all that confusion and delay. Oh, no, he is done, actually. It looks like someone's done as the umpire is writing down on his notepad, and that only means one thing, which is an ejection. The manager is still over there in the dugout, so it doesn't look like he's been ejected. I don't know who has been, or maybe that's just a warning. I don't know. But now, anyway, that'll bring up 77, Joe Muzio, the third baseman, who grounded out in his first at-bat. Muzio has been a little bit cold as of late, but he can turn it on at any moment. And so Muzio, with Levesque at first, and now a tied ball game, will try and advance Levesque. Alstrom will check over to first. Levesque able to get back in time. Alstrom now. We'll look over to Levesque again. And now we'll set, deliver, swung on it, driven in. That'll be a base hit to the right. And that's going to be a single for Muzio. And like I said, Muzio could turn it on at any moment. He just did there. That is a single into right on the first pitch. And now that'll bring up number 10, John Schroeder, the catcher, who flew out in his first at-bat. And now runners on first and second with 2 outs here. Schroeder at the plate. Pioneers trying to get a lead here in this one. And now there's going to be a mound meeting here between the pitching coach and Alstrom. And so I'm going to take a quick break here and send us to a different scene while this mound meeting's going on. We're back here now as the mound meeting appears to be over. Alstrom's still out there on the mound to face Schroeder here with 2 outs. The Let's Go Pirates chant started up here at Dunn. We're all hoping that Schroeder can deliver an RBI double in order to get Levesque around and to give the Pioneers a lead in this pivotal game 2 of this doubleheader. Alstrom now will set, deliver. That is down low for ball 1. So 1-0 the count to Schroeder. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Alstrom 1-0. We'll now look over to Levesque. And now we'll set, deal. That is in there. Called strike 1. So the count will now even up at 1-1 to Schroeder. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Levesque off second. Muzio off first. Alstrom now 1-1. Well, now set, deliver, swung on and chopped foul. That is right field side. And so the count will quickly go 1-2. 1-2 the count to Schroeder. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. The collapse going here once again at Dunn for John Schroeder. Alstrom 1-2, looks over to Levesque. And now we'll set, deal, swung on a driven, that is skied into left center. It should be an out unless they collide. Nope, the center fielder will scoop it up. And that will end the inning. So another fly out for Schroeder. We'll end the bottom of the third, but the Pioneers do not come up empty. They tie this ball game thanks to an RBI single by Cam Levesque. We go to the top of the fourth in a now tied 1-1 ball game right after this.
Owned and operated since 1905. At the Hilliard Corporation, we've proven ourselves time and time again as the leading industrial manufacturer in the Elmira and Southern Tier region. We make the products you need with the quality you and your business deserve. Industrial clutches and brakes, drivetrain products, filtration equipment, engine starters, braking systems. We engineer, manufacture, and distribute them. All of the products we manufacture are designed right here, so we truly know the products we provide for you, inside and out. On top of being an industrial manufacturer, at the Hilliard Corporation we also serve as a weld shop and machine shop. We specialize in creating custom parts and pieces to fit particular and uncommon applications. The secondary location is the home of the drivetrain division, where products for Polaris and other vehicle manufacturers are made. This is a high-volume, celled manufacturing plant that produces thousands of parts daily. Over time, Hilliard's product line has diversified, but our company has stayed true to our Elmira roots. Today, Hilliard maintains its original location while continually expanding its motion control and filtration product lines in the Elmira area. Hilliard designs and manufactures for companies around the globe, occupying more than 500,000 square feet and employing about 500 people. Taking pride in serving the Elmira community for over a century, the Hilliard Corporation.
For more than a century, you've counted on Arnett Health, counted on us to heal you.
Welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the top of the fourth inning here. Pioneers and Jamestown tied at 1 run apiece. Gardner Meeks back on the mound here to start the inning for the Pioneers. And now leading off this inning for the Tarpskunks, it'll be number 17, Henry Juan, who takes strike one there from Gardner Meeks. So 0-1 the count to Juan. No outs here in the top of the fourth. Meeks now, 0-1, will set, deal, swung on it, popped down the third base line. Muzio's going to have to field it, throw to first in one motion, not in time. And so that will be a base hit for Henry Juan, and that's like 2 or 3 times now that they've just come off the bats fair down the third base line. And that's happened to both Jamestown and Pioneers hitters tonight. And so now Meeks with a runner on first and no outs here in the top of the fourth. We'll now have to face number 44, Jake Coronado, the designated hitter, who flew out in his first at-bat. Juan on first. Meeks will check over to first, and Keller will just calmly catch that. Juan able to get back well in time. Coronado will step in now. Meeks now will set, deliver. That is swung on, driven straight back to Meeks. He's going to go to second, and that one will be just a fielder's choice. So Presto, who couldn't quite field the catch by Meeks. So that'll be one away here in the top of the fourth, and Coronado will reach first on a fielder's choice. The idea was there. Meeks was trying to get it to Presto so that he could try and turn 2. But Presto just couldn't quite get it clean. And so now that'll bring up number 20, Matt Thompson, the third baseman. who was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, with one out here in the top of the fourth. Coronado off first. Meeks now will set, fire. That one is in there. Called strike one. 1-1 the count to Thompson. One out here in the top of the fourth. Thompson will step back in. Meeks 0-1. Will now set, deal, and Thompson showed bunt. That is going to be ball one, so count will go aces wild. It is 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Jamestown loves to bunt. They've had so many batters attempt bunts throughout both of these games in this doubleheader. Less so in the game 2 here tonight, but a lot in game 1. Meeks 1-1 will set, deal, swung on a driven to Musio at third. He missed it, and that'll be a base hit in the left. And so now Thompson will be at first with 1 out here in the top of the fourth, and now Coronado goes to second. And so now that I'm bringing over 29, Jared Munoz, the extra hitter, who flew out in his first at-bat. No action in the Pioneers bullpen. Meeks is on his own here in the top of the fourth. And I don't even know, honestly, who is left in terms of arms available for the rest of this game. Like I said in the beginning, they're going to try and have Meeks go all 7. We're in the top of the fourth here. Meeks now to face Munoz. Will now set, deal, swung on it, popped in to right. Keller will catch it in foul territory, and that will be 2 outs. A very nice play by Jake Keller to get an extra out on the board for the Pioneers and keep the runners where they are. So that'll put 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. And now that'll bring up number 28, Luke Fuller, the right fielder, who RBI singled in his first at-bat. Meeks now. We'll look over to Coronado. And now we'll set, deliver. That is in there. Called strike one. A very nice fastball by Meeks. And the count will go 0-1. Meeks 0-1. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Will now step off, and nobody was in a position to check over to Coronado, so he will just pump fake and get back on the mound. Still 0-1 the count to Fuller. Meeks now will set, deliver, swung on and driven left field side. That is foul. And so the count will go 0-2. 0-2 the count to Fuller. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Meeks looking for his third strikeout here to end the top of the fourth inning. Meeks 0-2. We'll look over to Coronado and now set, deliver, swung on a driven third base side. That is foul. And so now everyone is going to have to reset. That was almost another one where it rolled down the third base line fair. That was almost the same situation as before. But this time it just turned foul, and probably for a good thing for the Pioneers, considering I don't think Musio could have gotten to that in time and barehanded thrown it to first or to second. So still 0-2 the count to Fuller. Meeks still looking for his third strikeout. Meeks will look over to Coronado, will now set, deliver, swung on a driven left field side. That is foul. That was down the third base line, and it just hooked foul at the end. That would have been all the way to the corner. That would have been easily a bases clearing double, if not a triple. And so now the count will stay at 0-2. 2 outs here still in the top of the fourth. Meeks now. We'll look over to Coronado again, and now set, deliver, swing, and they miss. He struck him out. That is the third strikeout for Gardner Meeks, and that will end the top of the fourth inning. Jamestown strands 2 runners on and get no runs in the top of the fourth. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is still tied 1-1. Welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the bottom of the 4th inning here. Alstrom still on the mound for the Tarpskunks. And leading off this inning for the Pioneers, it'll be number 8, Cooper Smith, the extra hitter. Tonight, he flew out in his first at-bat. Alstrom now, with the Pioneers trying to take the lead in this ball game. Will now set, deliver. That one is down low for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Cooper Smith. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Alstrom 1-0. As the wind picks up here, a Dunn will set, deal, swung on a driven left field side. That is foul. And so the count will even up at 1-1 here to Cooper Smith. 1-1 the count to Smith. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Alstrom now will set, deliver, swing and a miss by Cooper Smith, and the count will go 1-2. 1-2 the count to Smith. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Alstrom now will set, deliver. That is outside, way outside for ball 2. So 2-2 the count now to Smith as it evens up. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Alstrom 2-2. Will now set, deal, swing and a miss by Smith. He goes down swinging. That is the 3rd strikeout of the night for Alstrom, and that'll put 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. And now that'll bring up number 14, Jake Keller, the first baseman tonight here in game 2. And he grounded out in his first at-bat earlier in the ballgame against Alstrom. Alstrom now 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. As Keller will step in. Alstrom will set, deliver, swung on a driven. That is a base hit in the left. And it takes a weird hop to the left fielder. But that is a base hit single for Jake Keller. And that will put a runner on first with only 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th for the Pioneers. And now that'll bring up number 33, Kevin Noss, the right fielder. He singled in his first at-bat. Noss always recognizable by that black batting helmet with white trim. Alstrom looks over to Keller at first. And now will set, deliver, swung on and chopped foul right field side. So that will go 0-1 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Alstrom looks over to Keller again as he takes his lead. Alstrom will set, deal. That one is in there, called strike 2. 0-2 the count to Noss. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Noss looking to go 2 for 2 tonight. He already has a single, looking for more. He needs to find something here. It's 0-2. Alstrom now will set, deal. That is upstairs, ball 1. So 1-2 the count to Noss. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Keller's still over there on first. Alstrom looks over to Keller. And now we'll check over to him at first. Keller able to get back in time. So the count will stay at 1-2. Alstrom looks over to Keller again. Alstrom does like to check over to runners a lot. Alstrom will set, deal. That is way outside for ball 2. A good catch there by the catcher in order to grab that one. So the count will even up at 2-2 here to Noss. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Keller over there at first. Alstrom 2-2. Keller takes his lead. And now will set, deal. That is inside, ball 3. So 3-2 the count. Full count here to Noss. Noss trying to draw a walk to put 2 runners on with only 1 out. And it would be Nick Montagna up after Noss. Alstrom 3-2. Will now set, deal, swing and a miss by Noss, and he goes down swinging. That's the 4th strikeout of the night for Alstrom, and that'll put 2 outs here on the board in the bottom of the 4th. And now that'll bring up number 40, Nick Montagna, the second baseman. He flew out in his first at-bat. Keller's still over there at first. Montagna will be trying to advance him at least. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Alstrom now Well, now set, deal. That is upstairs and outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Montagna. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Hallstrom now, 1-0. Will now set, deliver, swung on and chopped back foul by Montagna, and the count will even up at 1-1. Hallstrom will step off now as he's granted time. Count still even 1-1 to Montagna. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Keller off of first. Pioneers trying to break this deadlock. Hallstrom will set, deal, swung on and popped to right field side. That is going to be fouling out of play. So the count will go 1-2 to Montagna. Hallstrom will set, deliver, swung on and driven right field side and foul again. And so the count will go 1-2. It is still 1-2 here to Montagna. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Keller still over there at first for the Pioneers. Hallstrom 1-2 will set, deliver, swung on and driven down the third base line. That is maybe going to be a base hit. No! It's going to be a ground out as third through to first in time. And that will end the bottom of the 4th. No runs for the Pioneers in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th. It is still tied at 1 run apiece. Welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the top of the 5th inning here. Pioneers and Tarpskunks still deadlocked at 1 run apiece. It'll be Gardner Meeks still on the mound here for the Pioneers to start the top of the 5th. And leading off this inning for the Tarpskunks, it will be number 27, Cooper Munro, excuse me. The first baseman, he struck out in his first at-bat, as now the umpire is going to take a moment to brush off home plate. Munro will step in to face Meeks here. Meeks now will set, deliver. That is outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Munro. No outs here in the top of the 5th. Meeks 1-0. Will now set, fire, swing and a miss by Cooper Munro, and the count will go 1-1. 1-1 the count to Cooper Munro. No outs here in the top of the 5th. Meeks now will set, deliver. That is outside, called ball 2. So 2-1 the count to Cooper Munro. Still no outs. Meeks now 2-1. Will now set, deliver. That one is in there. Called strike 2. A great fastball there by Meeks. So the count will now even up at 2-2, excuse me. No outs here in the top of the 5th. Meeks 2-2 will set, fire, swing and a miss. He struck him out. That is the 4th strikeout of the night for Gardner Meeks, and that will put it out on the board here in the top of the 5th. And so now that'll bring up number 6, Alex Ahlstrom, the left fielder. He flew out in his first at-bat. One out here in the top of the 5th. Meeks now will set, fire. That one is in there. Called strike one. Meeks is dealing right now. 0-1 the count to Ahlstrom. Meeks 0-1. Will now set, deal, swung on a driven right field side. That is foul. Keller is going for it, but he runs out of time. And so the count will go 0-2 to Ahlstrom. Keller not quite able to get to that. Still 0-2 the same. Meeks, it would be 3 in a row in terms of strikeouts. If he can pick one up here on this 0-2 count to Ahlstrom. He's going for it. This will be his 5th overall. His 3rd in a row if he gets it here. 0-2. Meeks now will set, deal. That one is outside and down low for ball 1. So 1-2 the count to Ahlstrom. Meeks can still pick it up here. Meeks 1-2. Will now set, fire, swung on, driven into center. Levesque running for it. He will make the play. What a grab by Levesque as he had to run all the way into right to go and get that. And that will put 2 outs on the board here in the top of the 5th. And so now we go back to the top of the order here for the Tarpskunks. And number 38, Grady Mee, the shortstop, grounded out in his first at-bat, walked in his second at-bat. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Meeks now will set, deliver. That is upstairs, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Grady Mee. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Grady Mee has been the most problematic bat for the Pioneers in this doubleheader. He had 3 walks in game 1 and a single, and he already has a 1 walk and a ground out in this game. 1-1 the count now to Grady Mee as it evens up. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Claps going here, done for Gardner Meeks. 1-1 the count. Meeks now will set, deliver, swing and a miss by Grady Mee, and the count will go 1-2. Meeks looking for his 5th strikeout here in order to end the top of the 5th inning. Meeks now 1-2. Will now set, deal. That one is upstairs for ball 2, so the count will even up at deuces wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Claps going here again and done. Meeks will set, deliver, swing and a miss. He struck him out. That is the 5th strikeout for Gardner Meeks, and that will end the top of the 5th inning. No runs for the Tarpskunks in the top of the 5th. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Meeks. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 1 run apiece. Welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the bottom of the 5th inning here. Pioneers and Jamestown Tarpskunks still tied at 1 run apiece. Alstrom's back on the mound here for the Tarpskunks, and leading off this inning for the Pioneers, it'll be number 2, Dom Presto, the shortstop. Alstrom will set deal. That one is down low for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Presto. Presto was walked in his first at-bat. 1-0 the count. Alstrom 1-0. Will now set, deliver. That one is down low for ball 2. So 2-0 quickly goes the count to Presto. Presto looking to get on again here to lead off in the bottom of the 5th. Presto was the 1 run for the Pioneers. Obviously, Pioneers trying to break that tie. Alstrom will set deal. That one is down low and inside for ball 3. 3-0 the count to Presto. Presto 1 ball away from a leadoff walk. And the Pioneers would love that. They would love to get the bottom of the order at least on base. It'll be the 8, 9, and 10 hitters for the Pioneers up. And that one is in there, called strike 1 from Alstrom. So he staves it off for now. 3-1 goes the count to Presto. Alstrom now 3-1. Will now set, deliver. That one is outside. Ball 4. That will be a leadoff walk for Dom Presto, who is 2 for 2 with walks tonight. And now that'll bring up number 42, Spencer Aubin, the left fielder, who grounded out in his first at-bat. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The go-ahead run in Presto at first. And now the third baseman, Thompson's talking with Alstrom a little bit, as Aubin's taking his time to step into the batter's box here. Alstrom now will set, deliver, swung on and chopped back, foul by Aubin, and the count will go 0-1. So 0-1 the count to Aubin, no outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Presto off of first, and the crowd cheering here for the Pioneers. Alstrom now sets, deals, down one is upstairs for ball 1. So 1-1 the count now to Aubin as it evens up. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Presto off of first. There is a pitcher warming in the bullpen for the Tarpskunks. Alstrom 1-1. Well, now set, deal, swing and a miss by Aubin, and the count will go quickly 1-2. It's amazing to think how short we have left in this ball game. I forgot to mention this earlier, but this is a 7-inning ball game, so it's only 7 innings because it's a doubleheader. So only 6 outs away. If the Pioneers can get a lead in this half of an inning, there would only be 6 outs. And that is going to be an extra base for Presto as the check over was missed. Presto's going to go all the way to third. He might go all the way home. No, he's going to be held up at third. And so Presto's going to be held up at third as the throw is back into the catcher, who got buckled while catching it. The crowd reacted to that. So Presto is at third. One and 2 the count to Aubin. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th, and a runner at third in Dom Presto. Presto, the go-ahead run. Infield all the way in here, expecting a bunt. Alstrom 1 and 2. Will now set, deal. That is inside, ball 2. So 2 and 2 the count now to Aubin. No outs here in the in the bottom of the 5th. Alstrom now, 2 and 2. Will now set, deliver, swung on a driven. That's a base hit and a right! And that will score Presto. The Pioneers lead it 2-1. And off of an RBI single from Spencer Aubin, the Pioneers lead this ball game 2-1. And boy, do they need it. So now, excuse me, as I'm going to change out my battery here real quick on my camera. And so now that'll bring up number 24, Eric Charnetsky, the designated hitter. Charnetsky struck out in his first at-bat as now Alstrom checked over to Aubin at first. Aubin is still safe at first. Alstrom now. Will now set, deliver, swung on a driven into left center. That might get down. It will get down. That'll be a base hit to the left. And a single as the left fielder is furious that he dropped it. So that is a single for Eric Charnetsky here. And the Pioneers have runners on first and second with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. And now that is probably going to do it for Alstrom. We'll have to see. The pitching coach is going to nonetheless go out and talk with him. Looks like Alstrom is still going to be on the mound to face number 30, Cam Levesque. Levesque will be at the plate here. And so Alstrom will remain on the mound here. Runners on first and second. Charnetsky is at first. Aubin at second. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Levesque at the plate. Number 30, the center fielder, struck out in his first at-bat. RBI singled in his second at-bat. Pioneers looking to extend their 2-1 lead here in this bottom half of the inning. Then they'll only be 6 outs away from a win. Alstrom now will set, deliver. That is upstairs for ball 1. So 1-0 the count to Levesque. Levesque struck out in his first at-bat. RBI singled in his second at-bat. 1-0 the count to him. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Alstrom will look over to Aubin and now will set, deal in. And that's going to be a hit by, that is actually going to be a bunt laid down. Throw to first is missed. And now it's going to score Aubin. And now the Pioneers lead it 3-1 off of that missed throw. And they have their multi-run lead for Gardner Meeks to work with here. And Charnetsky got all the way to third off of that. And that is just because this third baseman Thompson missed the throw to first. And so Levesque, they're going to mark that as a hit. So that is a single for Cam Levesque. And now, still with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth, that will bring up number 77, Joe Muzio, the third baseman. But that will do it for Alstrom here. Alstrom's night is going to be done here. He threw for 4 innings, gave up 3 earned runs on 7 hits. And so now we'll have to wait and see who the Tarpskunks decide to go to here to pitch. Looks like it's tough to read the number. I believe that is number 12. Number 12, Evan Chaffee. Evan Chaffee will be the one coming in here. It's number 12, Evan Chaffee. Chaffee so far has a 4.44 ERA and a 2-2 record so far this season. He's made 8 appearances and 4 starts. He's thrown 24.1 innings, given up 27 hits, 14 runs, 12 of those earned, 11 walks, and has 24 strikeouts so far this season. So now I'm going to step away and change to a different scene here while Chaffee warms up. back here now as Evan Chaffee is warmed up. And so now that'll bring up number 77, Joe Muzio, the third baseman. Grounded out in his first at-bat, singled in his second at-bat. Runners on the corners here for the Pioneers with no outs in the bottom of the fifth. Levesque off first, Charnetsky off third. Chaffee now will set deal. Levesque is going to steal second, and he will, as there was no throw made by the catcher. 0-1 the count to Muzio as he swung and fouled it back into the catcher's glove. 0-1 the count to Muzio. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Levesque off second, Charnetsky off third for the Pioneers. Chaffee now 0-1. Will now set, deliver. That is outside, called strike 2. So 0-2 the count now to Muzio. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Chaffee looking for his first strikeout here in the first batter that he has to face. Chaffee will set, deliver. That one is in there. Called strike 3. He struck him out. That is the first strikeout for Evan Chaffee. And now that'll put one out on the board here in the bottom of the fifth. But that will bring up number 10, John Schroeder, the catcher, who flew out twice in his first two at-bats. Schroeder, one of the Pioneers' best bats, is dangerous at any moment. And the infield's all the way in expecting a bunt. I don't think Schroeder's going to be bunting here. Schroeder, I don't think I've seen him bunt all season, to be honest. Chaffee now will set, deliver, swung on a driven right field side. That is going to be foul and out of play. And I was right. He is not going to be bunting. And so the count will go 0-1 to Schroeder. One out here in the bottom of the fifth. Chaffee 0-1. Will now set, deal. That one is upstairs for ball one. So the count will go aces wild here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here to Schroeder in the bottom of the fifth. Chaffee looks over to Levesque at second. And now we'll set, deliver, swung on a driven. That'll be a base hit in the center. That'll score 1 run. That'll score 2 runs on an RBI double. He is safe. Levesque is safe. The throw was just not quite in time. An RBI double for John Schroeder will make it a 5-1 Pioneers lead. The Pioneers are taking over game 2 of this doubleheader. They're looking for the split, and it's looking real good right now. Schroeder delivers 2 runs on this RBI double. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. And now that'll bring up number 8, Cooper Smith, the extra hitter. Flew out in his first at-bat, struck out in his second at-bat. Schroeder off second. And Chaffee will set deal, but Cooper Smith fouled that one off right field side. So the count will go 0-1. 1-1 to Smith. 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Schroeder off a second. Chaffee now 0-1 will set, deliver. That is upstairs for ball one. So the count will go aces wild once again. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Schroeder still off of second. Chaffee looks over to Schroeder. And now will set, deliver, swung on it, blooped into shallow right. First baseman will catch that in right field foul territory. So pop out by Cooper Smith will put 2 outs on the board here in the bottom of the fifth. And so now that'll bring up number 14, Jake Keller, the first baseman. Grounded out in his first at-bat, singled in his second at-bat. 2 outs here now in the bottom of the fifth. Like I said, this is a 7-inning ball game, so once this bottom of the fifth will end, the Pioneers are 6 outs away from a split. Chaffee will look over to Schroeder. He now will set, deliver. That is going to be inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count now to Keller. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Excuse me, 1-0 the count to Keller. If I didn't say that right the first time. Chaffee will set deal. That one is upstairs for ball 2. So 2-0 the count to Keller here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Schroeder still over there off of second. Chaffee now 2-0. Will now set deal. That one is upstairs, ball 3. 3-0 the count to Keller. A walk here would be big. That would bring up number 33, Kevin Noss, who's on deck after Keller. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. But a walk would still be good for the Pioneers. 3-0. Chaffee now looks over to Schroeder. And now will set, deliver. That is inside. Called strike 1. So 3-1 goes the count here now to Keller. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Schroeder off of second. Chaffee looks over to Schroeder again. And now will set, deliver, swung on and chopped foul right field side. So the count will go 3-2 here now to Keller. This is a massive pitch coming up here for Chaffee. 3-2 the count to Keller. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner on second to John Schroeder. Chaffee now 3-2. We'll look over to Schroeder again. And now we'll set, deliver, swung on it, driven into right. Right fielder going back, and now will come in and make the play. And so that will end the bottom of the 5th inning. A flyout ends it by Keller. But the Pioneers, they have certainly extended their lead and broken the deadlock as they had a 4-run bottom of the 5th. They now lead at 5-1 as we go to the top of the 6th right after this. Welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the top of the 6th inning here. Pioneers lead at 5-1 over the Tarpskunks here in game 2 of this doubleheader. Gardner Meeks back on the mound here to start at the top of the 6th. Like I said before, they're going to try and push Meeks to go all 7 innings. Leading off this inning against Meeks, it'll be number 11, Tommy Googans, the second baseman who grounded out in his first at-bat, popped out in his second at-bat. Meeks and the Pioneers are 6 outs away from a split. Meeks will set deal. That one is down low for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Googans. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Meeks 1-0. Will now set deal. That one is outside for ball 2. Excuse me, inside I should say. So 2-0 the count now to Googans. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Meeks 2-0. Will now set, deliver. That one is in there. Called strike 1 right down Broadway. That fastball went. So 2-1 now to Googans. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Meeks now will set, deliver. That was inside, called ball 3. So 3-1 goes the count to Guggens. He's not getting that inside call anymore. At the beginning of the game, he got that call where that pitch would curve inside to the hitter. He used to get that called for a strike. Not anymore. And that one will be upstairs for ball 4. So a leadoff walk here for Guggens. We'll put a runner on first in the top of the 6th. Luckily, Meeks has a 4-run lead to work with. So 1 runner is not too much damage. No outs here in the top of the 6th, so he does have to be a little bit careful. But now that'll bring him number 13, Paul Catalano, the center fielder. Singled in his first at-bat, struck out in his second at-bat. Meeks now will set, deliver, swing and a miss by Catalano, and the count goes 0-1. Guggens still over there at first as he will step off and take his lead. Meeks 0-1. Will now set, deliver. That one is just outside, ball 1. So the count will even up at 1-1 here to Catalano. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Meeks 1-1 will set, deal, swing, and a miss by Catalano, and the count quickly goes 1-2 now. Meeks looking for his 6th strikeout here on this 1-2 count to Catalano. Meeks now will set, fire. That one is upstairs for ball 2. So 2-2 the count now to Catalano. As it evens up, no outs here in the top of the 6th. This game, Pioneers only 6 outs away from a win and a split. As a swing and a miss by Catalano, he will go down swinging. That is the 6th strikeout for Gardner Meeks, and that will put an out on the board here in the top of the 6th. And as I say it, there are now only 5 outs remaining from separating the Pioneers from a split in this doubleheader. Guggens still over there at first. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. And now that'll bring him number 17, Henry Juan, the catcher, who grounded out in his first at-bat, singled in his second at-bat. Meeks now will set, deal. That one is outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count to Juan. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Meeks 1-0. Will now set, deal. That one is in there, called strike 1. So the count will now go aces wild here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Double play is available as Guggens is on first. Meeks now, aces wild. Will now set, deliver. That one is in there, called strike 2. 1-2 the count to Henry Juan. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Meeks looking for back-to-back strikeouts. It would be his 7th of the night if he can pick it up here on this 1-2 count to Juan. Meeks now, 1-2. Will now set, deliver. That one is in there, called strike 3, right down Broadway. And that will be the 7th strikeout for Gardner Meeks. And that will put 2 outs on the board here in the top of the 6th inning. And now that'll bring him number 44, Jake Coronado, the designated hitter. He flew out in his first at-bat, reached on a fielder's choice in his second at-bat. Guggens off of first, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Meeks looking for 1 more out to end the inning. Meeks will set, deal. That is upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Coronado. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Guggens off of first. Meeks now 1-0 will set, deliver. That one is in there just upstairs, called ball 2. 2-0 the count now to Coronado. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Meeks now will set, deliver, swung on and chopped. Right field side foul, and so the count will go 2-1 here now to Coronado. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Coronado will step back in. Meeks now 2-1. Will now set, deal, swung on and popped back foul, directly back behind the plate. And the count will even up at deuces wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Meeks looking for his 8th strikeout here It'd be 3 in a row for him. You would have struck an out for all 3 outs here in the top of the 6th after giving up that leadoff walk to Googans. Meeks now, 2-2 sets, delivers, swing! No! Check swing and just called outside for ball 3. I thought that was it right there. However, umpire disagrees, so the count will go full 3-2 the count to Coronado. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Meeks now will set deal. That is inside ball 4. So that will be a walk here to Coronado with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th to put runners on first and second for Jamestown with 2 outs. So now that'll bring up number 20, Matt Thompson, the third baseman, who was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat and then singled in his second at-bat. Still 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, and now all of a sudden the sprinklers have come on in the outfield. There you can see it in the top right corner of your screen. The sprinklers in right field have come on for a random reason. I don't know, it's probably a field crew issue. And so the sprinklers have now been turned off. So a little bit of a funny situation there. A brief delay. Schroeder and Meeks are now going to talk it over real quick. I'm going to change scenes for 1 second just to change my battery, so I'll bring it back in just 1 second. That one is a swing and a miss by Thompson on the first pitch by Meeks. The count will go 0-1. 0-1 the count to Thompson. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. That one is in there. Called strike 2 now to Thompson. So 0-2 the count to Thompson here. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Meeks looking for his 8th strikeout to end the top of the 6th. Meeks now 0-2. Will now set, deliver. That is called strike 3. He struck him out. That is the 8th strikeout for Gardner Meeks, and that will end the top of the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th right after this. Pioneers still lead at 5-1.
The vineyard manager and property manager of Bully Hill Vineyards, and I'm a 4th generation winemaker and 5th generation grape grower of my family. So it all started with my great-great-grandfather George and his son Walter Taylor Sr. They came up to this region for the promise of a better life due to the rising wine industry on Keuka Lake. Walter Taylor was the one who first started the Taylor Wine Company. The Taylor Wine Company was one of the largest wineries in the United States. My great-grandfather had passed away, and my grandfather Grayton and his 2 brothers Fred and Clarence took over the company at its peak, producing around 40 million gallons of wine a year. Grayton had a son, Walter, who was my father, and he started Bully Hill Vineyards in 1967. My father had a vision for the Finger Lakes wine industry. When Bully Hill was started, only 5 producers existed, and now there's over 300. And he firmly believed that you have to have a certain level of integrity and honesty with the people around you and yourself. And these are kind of the staples of what our business is. Bully Hill was built on the back of French-American hybrid vines. These varietals were developed in France in the 19th century, and they were brought over by my grandfather in the 1950s. And here at Bully Hill, we started the experimental farm from where these hybrid varietals have made their way to almost all 50 states. As we become more environmentally conscious, we're looking for agricultural solutions that have less impact on the environment. Now, the French hybrids that my grandfather brought over in the 1950s already solved this problem ahead of time. They take half the amount of fungicide, and that was the backbone of what built Bully Hill, the French-American hybrids. My dad firmly believed that a product is an extension of a person's soul, and we still adhere to that today at Bully Hill Vineyards. His memory and his vision is still seen around the Finger Lakes. Here at Bully Hill, we're excited about the future and sharing this experience with you. Bully for you.
Welcome back here to the Pioneers live stream. It's the bottom of the 6th inning here. Pioneers lead at 5-1 over the Tarpskunks. And leading off this inning for the Pioneers, it'll be number 33, Kevin Noss. Noss, the right fielder, singled in his first at-bat, struck out in his second at-bat. And now it is a new pitcher on the mound for the Tarpskunks, the number 9, Aiden Wallace. As that he deals for a called strike one. And Wallace has not pitched so far this season for the Tarpskunks. And he was originally listed as the... Or no, he played in game 1. That's what I'm confusing it with. Because I was like, I swear he just played. Nope. He played in game 1 as he deals that one down low and outside for ball 1. So it's a position player pitcher here for the Tarpskunks who has never thrown in a league game before, at least for the Tarpskunks this season. Count goes 1-1 to Noss. Wallace will set deal. That one is upstairs for ball 2. So 2-1 the count to Noss. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Wallace now, 2-1 will set, deliver. That one is just down low and inside for ball 3. 3-1 the count to Noss. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Wallace will set deal. That is down low for ball 4, and that will be a leadoff walk for Kevin Noss. And that'll put a runner on first here with no outs for the Pioneers. And now that'll bring up number 40, Nick Montagna, the second baseman. Montagna so far tonight flew out in his first at-bat, grounded out in his second at-bat. Wallace now will set, deal. That one is down low and outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count to Montagna. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Noss still over there at first for the Pioneers. Wallace 1-0 will set deal. That one is outside for ball 2. So 2-0 goes the count now to Montagna. No outs here still in the bottom of the 6th. Noss off of first takes a healthy lead. Wallace 2-0 will now set, deliver. That was swung on and driven straight up the center. That'll be a hit in the center field. That'll be a base hit. And now Noss is going to go all the way to third. A base hit single for Montagna there. With no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Pioneers looking to pour it on here. Already leading by 4. And now that will bring up number 2, Don Presto, the shortstop. Presto has gotten on base twice tonight with 2 walks in his first 2 at-bats. He'll be stepping up to the plate here with no outs and 2 runners on the corners for the Pioneers. Wallace will set deal. That one is upstairs for ball 1. So 1-0 the count goes to Presto. Excuse me, actually, let me change my outs. I just realized that they were wrong this entire time. Sorry about that. 1-0 the count to Presto. Runners on the corners for the Pioneers as that one is down low for ball 2. So 2-0 the count to Presto. Presto, 2-0 the count. If he gets walked for a third time, that would mean he'd get on base 3 for 3 tonight with 3 walks. Wallace now 2-0. Not to mention it would also load the bases. Wallace will set deal. That one is down low for ball 3. So 3-0 the count to Presto. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Presto about to be walked for the 3rd time. And he would load the bases for the Pioneers. Wallace 3-0. Will now set, deliver. That one is in there. Called strike 1. So Wallace staves the walk-off for now. 3-1 goes the count. Wallace 3-1. Will now set, deliver. That one is outside, ball 4. And so that will be Don Presto's 3rd walk of the night. And that will also load the bases here for the Pioneers with no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And so now that'll bring up the 9th batter in the Pioneers lineup, number 42, Spencer Aubin, the left fielder tonight. Aubin will be coming to the plate with the bases loaded and no outs. So a prime opportunity for the Pioneers to extend their lead here. They already lead it by 4 runs. They're looking for more. Wallace now will set, deliver. That one is upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Aubin. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Wallace 1-0. Will now set, deal, swung on a pop back foul about 5 feet right at my window. So the count will go 1-1. I'm still waiting for a foul ball to come up here and join me in the booth one of these days. Count will even up at 1-1 to Aubin. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Wallace will set, deal. That is upstairs and inside for ball 2. So 2-1 the count goes to Aubin as he will take the lead. Wallace 2-1 will set, deal. That is upstairs for ball 3. 3-1 goes the count to Aubin. Wallace about to walk in a run here for the Pioneers. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Wallace now 3-1. Will now set, deliver. That is down low for ball 4, and that will be a walked-in run for the Pioneers. They will now lead at 6-1 as Kevin Noss will cross home plate. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And now that I'm bringing over 24, Eric Charnetsky, the designated hitter who struck out in his first at-bat, singled in his second at-bat. Charnetsky coming to the plate with still the bases loaded and no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. So another prime opportunity for the Pioneers to still extend their lead. Wallace now will set, deal. That one is down low and outside. Catcher barely got that. And the count will go 1-0. 1-0 the count to Charnetsky. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Bases still loaded for the Pioneers. Wallace will set, deal. That one is upstairs. Called strike 1. So 1-1 as the count evens up to Charnetsky. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th still. Pioneers, once they eventually get to the top of the 7th, will be 3 outs away from a split. Wallace will set, deal. That is upstairs for ball 2. So 2-1 the count now to Charnetsky. And everybody's just taking. The Pioneers are just taking pitches because they don't believe that Wallace can actually throw strikes enough to get an actual strikeout. And so far, that's been proven true with back-to-back walks. And now that will be taken for strike 2. So 2-2 the count to Charnetsky as it evens up. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. My battery packs are both dying for my camera. They've been wiped clean by this doubleheader. So I apologize if it does die. I'll try to replace it as fast as possible. Wallace 2-2 will set, deal. That is down low and outside. Ball 3. So 3-2 the count now to Charnetsky. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Big pitch coming up here for Wallace. 3-2. He needs a strikeout to just put an out on the board. Wallace 3-2 sets, deals. That is going to be a hit by pitch. And Charnetsky will go to first as another run is walked in here. And so the Pioneers lead it 7-1, and my battery dies as that happens. So let me just change my battery here real quick. I do apologize for this. These double headers wipe my batteries clean. It's very hard to broadcast both of them fully. And so now we'll bring up number 30, Cam Levesque, the leadoff man, the center fielder. So far, Levesque has struck out in his first at-bat, RBI singled in his second at-bat, and then singled in his third at-bat. And that one is ball 1 upstairs to Aiden Wallace. Or excuse me, to Levesque from Aiden Wallace. 1-0 count to Levesque. Base is still loaded for the Pioneers. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. I might just have to turn off the camera and make it a radio-only stream if Wallace cannot throw strikes, because we're going to be here forever at this rate. It is 7-1. Wallace is just walking people. 2-0 count to Levesque. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Wallace 2-0 will set, deliver. That is outside for ball 3. 3-0 the count to Levesque. And another run is about to be walked in. 3-0 the count to Levesque. Wallace now will set, deal. That is upstairs, ball 4. So that will be another walked-in run here for the Pioneers as they now lead it 8-1. And Wallace has just been walking people. He has now walked in 4 hitters. Well, technically 5 if you count the hit by pitch by Charnetsky. So technically 4 in a row and 5 out of 6. And the only other at-bat was a single by Nick Montagna. And so now that'll bring up number 77, Joe Muzio. As finally, they do have a pitcher warming in the bullpen. Jamestown does. Still bases loaded, no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Pioneers would have to get 5 more runs across in the bottom of the 6th inning in order to end the ball game. And so now I'm going to take a step away as this mound meeting is taking too long. It is straining too much of my battery. Okay, so I'm going to save my battery for now, but Wallace is done. So Wallace is finally done for the night. They got a new pitcher in. I will tell you who it is in a moment. And I'm just going to leave the camera off to try and save my battery as much as possible until this new pitcher's warmed up. It's number 23. 23, it's Drew Garth. Drew Garth will be the new pitcher for the Tarpskunks. Garth so far, another pitcher that has not pitched a single inning of league baseball for the Tarpskunks so far this season. So now he's going to take his time and warm up. And that one went way over the catcher's head on the first pitch. So I'm going to take a step away here as Garth warms up. I'll be back, at least in voice, maybe with camera, after this. Back here now with the camera for moments. Camera battery's about to die. I'm going to charge my other one for the top of the 7th inning as Garth will deal inside. Ball 1 to Joe Muzio. The third baseman is at the plate. Ground down his first at-bat, singled in his second at-bat, struck out in his third at-bat. Garth now 1-0. Will set, deal, swung on a chop foul. Right field side by Muzio, so the count will even up at 1-1. Let's go, Joe. Chance here. And I do notice you guys putting in the chats that there's a thunderstorm coming. It is currently right behind Dunfield. It is right behind us as that is upstairs for ball 2. So this game might be canceled just due to rain. It might be called if the rain gets to us. Right now, the count is 2-1 to Muzio. Garth now will set, deal, swing and a miss by Muzio, and the count will go 2-2. 2-2 the count to Muzio. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Bases still loaded for the Pioneers. Garth will set, deliver. That is down low and outside, and that gets away from the catcher, but not enough to get Aubin to come home. So the count will go full here to Muzio. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Tarpskunks looking to just get outs at this point because Meeks will probably be pitching the top of the 7th to try and close it out. Garth 3-2 will set deal. Swung on it, popped up. That'll be an out as long as they catch it. Third baseman will come under to make the play just barely. He was stumbling back when he caught that. So that will finally put one out on the board for the Tarpskunks. It took 2 pitchers to get here, but finally there is an out. And so now that'll bring up number 10, John Schroeder, the catcher. Schroeder flew out in his first 2 at-bats and then RBI doubled in his 3rd at-bat. He'll be coming to the plate here now with 1 out in the board, and now my camera is dead. So unfortunately for right now, this stream is going to go to voice only as my other battery is going to be charged up for the top of the 7th. And to be honest, you all know what's going to happen during this inning, as that is 1-0 the count to Schroeder. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Base is still loaded. Garth now 1-0. Will set, deliver. That is going to be upstairs for ball 2. Catcher had to jump up to go and grab that. So 2-0 the count now to Schroeder. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Garth, if he walks Schroeder, that'll walk in a run. Garth now will set, deliver. That one is swung on and chopped foul, right field side. So the count will go 2-1 now to Schroeder. 2-1 the count to Schroeder. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Base is still loaded for the Pioneers. Garth now 2-1 will set, deal. That is upstairs for ball 3. So 3-1 the count to Schroeder here. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 the count. Garth now will set, deliver. That is outside, way over the catcher's head. That'll be a walk, and that will walk in a run. So another run has scored on a walk guaranteed by Schroeder. And now that will make it a 9-1 ball game here. So it's 9-1 now. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Base is still loaded for the Pioneers. If Cooper Smith, who is now at the plate, gets a base hit, that could clear the entire base path. And so now Smith at the plate, the extra hitter in game 2, flew out in his first at-bat, struck out in his second at-bat, popped out in his third at-bat. Garth will set, deliver. That is upstairs for ball 1. We want to know the count to Smith, or Garth's just going to walk him again. So we'll have to find out and see whether Garth is going to walk in another run here. He could walk to the game end, honestly. Garth 1-0 will set, deal. That is upstairs, or called strike 1, actually. I thought that was high, but umpire calls it strike 1. So aces wild to count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Garth now with the aces wild count. Base is still loaded for the Pioneers. It is Charnetsky at third, Levesque at first, Schroeder at second, and Garth will set, deal. That is upstairs for ball 2. So 2-1 the count now to Cooper Smith. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Another 4 runs. So if Cooper Smith were to grand slam right now, which would be really disappointing considering I don't have my camera on, that is ball 3 upstairs by Garth. If Cooper Smith were to grand slam, the game would be over. It'd be walk-off. However, the count will go 3-1 to Smith. Garth probably going to just walk him here and walk in another run. Garth 3-1 will set, deal. That is upstairs, ball 4. So that will be another run walked in. And now it will be 10-1 here. And the manager is now coming out to talk with Drew Garth here. But it is 10-1, still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The Tarpskunks, do they even have anybody left that can throw strikes? I don't know. It doesn't look like it. But now all the Tarpskunks are walking off. And it looks like Jamestown has actually conceded the game. Jamestown is forfeiting. The Pioneers are going to take it. Okay, so I believe they have conceded the game. Jamestown is off in their dugout. I'm turning my camera on here. Jamestown has conceded it. Yep, Jamestown has forfeited. Jamestown has forfeited the ball game as they have walked all their players off. And so the final score is 11-1 here. The Pioneers are winners, and they will be splitting here with Jamestown. It is 11-1 the final. I'm getting my feedback up. And so Jamestown, their manager came out, and then all the players just started walking off, and then the manager went over and shook hands with Coach Drum. And so that is when the game was conceded. So the game has been forfeited by Jamestown. The final is 11-1 for the Pioneers. And apparently what happened is that they actually intentionally walked Keller, which then ended the ball game. So 11-1, the final here. Pioneers split. They improved to 23-13 overall on the season. And now taking a look at the schedule here. They'll be at Niagara tomorrow, the 21st. Then they'll be back home on Saturday, the 22nd versus Auburn for Faith and Family Night. Then they'll be at Newark on the 23rd for a doubleheader. And then they will have 2 days off on the 24th and the 25th before returning back here to face Newark again on the 26th. And so the Pioneers take this one. They split the doubleheader, 11-1 the final. Until next time, and until tomorrow.